Hey guys, welcome back to our vegan kitchen. We're making a wonderful kale salad today. We used to make a kale Caesar. This one's going to be a little bit different. The kale Caesar is pretty involved. It's got like a caper dressing. That's a weekend salad. This is going to be a weeknight salad. It's going to be pretty simple. There's going to be a few components. As you can see, I've already started a little bit of prep work here, which wasn't really much at all. So basically it's the kale, the tofu, the dressing, which I haven't put together yet, and the green beans and the quinoa. All of those elements are pretty much separate, and then it all comes together as one beautiful family at the end. And it's delicious. I have to say, I've had a lot of people compliment me on the salad. It's really, it's
special.
It's satisfying. It's you don't feel like you're eating a salad. You feel like you're eating a satisfying meal, a hearty meal. So I think the first thing that we're probably going to do is get the tofu going, because that doesn't matter, you know, how long it's going to be sitting around, whatever. So let's just get the tofu going. You guys who watch me on the reg know that I love the Super Firm Tofu. But if you can't get the Super Firm Tofu, go for the extra firm. So let me just drain this in the sink. Let me change its diaper. Yes, come to my dirty sink.
It's not that bad.
It's been worse.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Yes, exactly. All right, so the thing that I like about this one is you don't really have to press it, because it is very compact and very firm. I wish they would make an easier open package, though. Alright. Back in the day when I was fancy, I would make the cubes and everything. Ain't nobody got time for that. We're just going to do some slabs. Let's do 3 cuts this way. 2 cuts, 3 slabs. And I would also do like a crispy coating. That's a weekend salad. We're going to just, by the way, that was a little olive oil there. Not urine or anything like that.
Ew.
All right. You guys who know me know my humor. If you're new, I'm sorry. That's who I am. All right. So we're just going to coat it with a little bit of olive oil. We're going to use my favorite, we call it Dame de Louise, but it's Paul Prudhomme magic seasoning salt. It's really delicious. This is really all you need on here. This is going to give it so much flavor. And I get people all the time asking me at the supermarket when they see that I'm buying tofu. They ask me how I cook it, because they share their horror stories of, my sister made this and it wasn't very good at all. How do you cook it? I guess I look like the tofu lady. I don't know.
I guess.
So we're going to pop this in the oven, 375, 400 degrees, you know, depending if your oven is a little, or if it's okay. If you have like a slow oven, go for 400. If your oven is up to snuff, do 375. I'm going to do about 30 minutes, flip it halfway, and then just take it out and let it rest. Then we're going to move on to the kale. Now it's time for the star of the show, and that would be this beautiful bowl of kale. This is a whole pound of kale. I don't like to buy my kale on the stalks, because I cannot stand getting a bit of sand when I have kale salad. I'm not very good at washing them, you know, so I like to have all the guesswork taken out of it for me. So this is already chopped and washed, but look at this. There's always stems in there, and these are not pleasant to eat unless they're cooked. Like, you could save these and throw them in a Instant Pot stew or something like that.
It'd be pretty good in that.
Yeah, but as they are now, they're very fibrous and like very tough, even worse than like a broccoli stem. So I just take those out and hold them aside. Okay, so what we're left with is just the green part. All of the stems are out, and it's still pretty tough and fibrous. If you're new to veganism, you might not want to start out with 100% kale. You might want to do 50% kale, 50% romaine. I mean, it's gonna be something. You're gonna be going through it. So I like to massage the kale first because that helps break down the fibers, and it's like pre-digesting it. And the way that you do that is you start off with a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. I would say that's probably a couple tablespoons, maybe 3 tablespoons at most. I have a beautiful lemon from California that my sister sent me for Christmas. That's probably a couple tablespoons of lemon juice. I was very surprised to see that there is no seeds in this.
Beautiful.
And she grew this at her house, so I'm just like, whoa. Maybe we'll put even a little bit more because it just smells so wonderful. And I find that the lemons that you grow on your own, they have a milder taste than the ones that you get at the supermarket, so you can get away with a little bit more. So we're just going to make sure our hands are clean, which they are. Roll up your sleeves because it's going to be a little bit messy. And you're going to get right in there and you're just going to squeeze it.
That makes such a big difference.
It really does. And you know when you've done it almost enough because the kale is going to turn an even darker green. It's going to be beautiful. And it's going to shrink in size. You could see already it's like shrinking. It helps it so much. So we're just going to massage this just a couple minutes. You don't have to go nuts on it. And then towards the end, when you're almost done, I would just sprinkle a little bit of salt on this. And this will also help, make sure you got all the stems out of there when you go over it like this. So we're just going to season it with a little bit of sea salt at the end. And then we're going to set that aside while we prepare the rest of the steps. Already you can see how much more beautiful that looks. Alright, so I have 2 cups of rainbow quinoa here, and it's been soaking for a few minutes, and you can see how filthy the water is because quinoa factory is kind of filthy. So you definitely want to rinse your quinoa at the very least. I find if you let it soak for a little bit, it becomes heavier and it stays like in the strainer. So I'm just gonna dump this part and put the rinsed quinoa back in the pot with an additional 2 cups of water, and we're going to bring it up to a boil and let it simmer for a few minutes and then turn off the heat and put a cover on it, and the quinoa should cook the rest of the way on its own, and then again we'll put that aside once it's done. Alright, so now we have the green beans to cook. And I would normally cook these in the microwave, but we just got a new smaller microwave and I don't think they'll all fit. So we're going to try them in the oven. And I cooked the asparagus under the broiler the last time we had asparagus, and it came out really good. So I'm hoping that the green beans will also come out really good. So I've spread them out on my cookie sheet. I'm just going to drizzle a little bit of olive oil over them. Come out, olive oil. There you go.
Come on down.
That's right. And then I'm going to also season them with a little bit of the magic seasoning salt. And then we're going to pop that. Maybe I'll, give it a little stir. But we're going to pop this as flat a layer as possible under the broiler on high for about 5 to 7 minutes. Should do it. And then we just have to make the dressing. And the dressing is really simple. Of course, I didn't get out my mayo yet, but let me put the other ingredients in here first. Alright, so I have this little shaker cup from OXO. A lot of people ask about this. Is
that how you say that?
OXO?
I never knew that.
What did you call it?
I don't know.
Oh. It's OXO.
I never knew how to say it.
OXO.
I just thought it was like OXO or something. Or like hugs and kisses.
Oh, I didn't know. Alright, so I have some of the lemon juice left over. If you don't have lemon juice, you could use apple cider vinegar is really good in this as well. So I'm going to try and get a couple of tablespoons of the lemon juice. Maybe I'll just use whatever I have here. This is probably about 2 tablespoons, or yeah, just about 2 tablespoons. So that's perfect. And then we're going to use some dill. I'm not really measuring it. I'm going to say that's probably about ½ a teaspoon to 3/4 of a teaspoon. We're also going to put some salt in there. That's probably about ½ a teaspoon of sea salt. We're going to put some granulated onion, and we're going to put some granulated garlic. All right, so we're going to put half a teaspoon of the granulated garlic, and we're also going to put half a teaspoon of the onion. And then probably about half a cup of, well, a third of a cup of the mayo. And then we're going to thin it out with some not vanilla oat milk. So let me grab my
Other
mayo.
ingredients.
Yeah, the other ingredients. All right, so I don't think I mentioned how much string beans this was. This is about a pound of string beans. I got the 2-pound pack, and I was going to make the whole 2-pound pack. And then I said, whoa, that's almost as much green beans as kale, so I'll just do half. It's really easy to do this with a knife. You know, I would have done this with a spoon or whatever in the past, but then you dealt with cleaning the bowl of the spoon, and I don't know what
Who
it
wants
is.
to do that?
I know. Well, I don't know what it is with me and like cleaning the measuring things, but I'm just like, make it easy as possible, right?
Yeah. Why do that if you don't have to?
Yeah. So that looks pretty good. Don't get hung up on the measurements because you could always adjust later on. And then the oat milk. You don't have to use oat milk. You can use soy milk. You can use almond milk. You can use coconut milk. Just make sure it's not vanilla or like sweetened. Make sure you get the unsweetened. And that should be pretty good. If it's too thick, we'll just add more. If it's not thick enough, we'll just add a little more mayo. So don't get crazy with it. And we're just going to give this a good shake. Perfect. It looks a little bit thin, but it will actually thicken up as it sits because the lemon juice will react with the oat milk and it'll make it a little bit thicker. So we're going to set that aside. We're going to pop this under the broiler for 5 to 7 minutes as soon as the tofu comes out. And then we'll cut up our tofu into cubes and we'll be ready to assemble our salad. All right, so we're all done. We're ready to assemble our salad. One thing beside the dog drinking that I have to tell you about is the quinoa over here in the bowl. We added some halved cherry tomatoes, or actually grape tomatoes, a quarter of a big red onion, and about a third of the dressing, just to pre-flavor it because it was very bland without that. And to sprinkle that on top of everything else, it's going to be bland. So you want to pre-season the quinoa mixture. So it's time to build the salad. So I'm going to reach behind me, grab my bowl of kale, and I've got my bowl down here that I'm ready to assemble. So we're going to start on the bottom with a bed of kale. I like a lot of kale. And then we're going to go over here. And the green beans were actually under the broiler, pretty far away from the broiler actually, for 10 minutes. And they came out perfectly. So we're going to load up some green beans here. Beautiful! We're going to load up a good portion of the quinoa because that's where we're getting all of our protein from, besides the tofu. I'm going to put a couple of spoonfuls of the cubed up tofu, which came out really nice. Ah, so beautiful. The colors are amazing. And you want to eat a diet that includes a lot of foods that are different colors because that's really good for you. That's where all your antioxidants are happening. So we're going to drizzle a little bit of the dressing on top. And we're going to let my husband taste this because I trust him. So we're going to switch and we'll be right back. All right, there it is. And there he is. He's ready to taste with his mouth. Dig in, honey. Try and get a little bit of everything.
Oh, I don't know.
He already helped me out in the kitchen by mixing this giant bowl of the quinoa. And that was good because it really filled up the bowl. How is it?
Good.
Does it taste salady? It's like a meal, right? It eats like a meal, not like a salad.
I didn't get any kale. Totally forgot it was under there.
Oh, there's so much in there.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot going on in this bowl.
There you go.
There you go. Go for it.
A little bit more quinoa.
That's hearty, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yep, I like the dressing and the onions.
Awesome. So it's a home run, would you say?
Yes.
Off-season home run?
Yes. Touchdown.
Okay, I don't like sports, but whatever. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you make this recipe because it's really good.
Yes, you should make it.
Yes. And what else should they do? They should subscribe.
Subscribe and smash the like button.
And you should hit the bell for notifications so you know when we're about to upload a new vegan video. So, hope Veganuary is going amazing. Thanks for watching, and until next time, much love.